Hi folks, Dan back from Potomac, Maryland. I've got this afternoon for you some thoughts on the new Choyong LC100 portable that's now shipping out to first adopters around the world. You know this story. Choyong came out with the LC90 a number of years ago. First radio really to combine in a traditional portable cabinet decent shortwave reception with internet radio reception. So I'm not going to make this a long video because I want to go into some more detail, but I want to tell you about some things that are emerging as I speak. So the LC100, one of which I do not have yet, is a really nice looking radio. There have been some key improvements in terms of Wi-Fi stability. They've moved the jacks to the left side of the radio, thank goodness. There is in the radio a ferrite bar for medium wave reception, although Choyong notes that the radio is not likely to be as good as other radios and when it comes to AM. There is a record function. I'm not quite sure whether recording is for all band ranges. In other words, not just internet radio, but that you can record also just shortwave broadcast. But there are a number of pretty bad disappointments. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'll lay out some of what I know. First of all, there's no backstand on this radio, despite the urging of some of us to Choyong to provide a backstand. So one of the major pains for the LC90 was you had to get a separate stand for the radio. Why Choyong did this, their explanation is that they didn't want to alter the inside audio box of the radio and degrade the audio. But then again, we have examples of the H501 and PL990 by Texan that have backstands and have pretty darn good sound, although probably not as good as Choyong. Well, where do I go from here? Some of the reports I'm seeing just as I record this show that there's significant chuffing when using the main tuning encoder on the LC100. This is similar to what we saw on the LC90. Clearly there were AGC gain control issues on the LC90, and it appears that this hasn't been really corrected or addressed on the LC100. And probably an even worse problem was shown in one video on YouTube where an LC100 was being compared to a PL990 tuned to 5450, which I believe is one of the aircraft maritime frequencies. And with the screen on, the LC100 was unable to hear that station. When the screen was turned off, the station came right up. That arguably is a more difficult problem than any of the other issues with the LC100. If there's that much screen-generated noise, enough to block out a station on shortwave, I'm afraid to say there needs to be a kind of a return to the drawing board to figure out what the problem is. The chuffing issue on shortwave is another issue that I think needs to be looked at. This is a dual chip radio. I believe it's 4735. I believe, if I'm not correct, we're seeing a TEF chip doing the work in the shortwave bands as well, and on AM. Again, I don't have one of these LC100s in hand yet. I had urged Choyong to get advanced prototypes out to key influencers and testers in advance, so we didn't have a repeat, for example, of the situation we saw with the Eton executive satellite, which turned out to be a flop because of various issues, including, for example, screen lack of internal shielding. So I'm sorry to report that news to all of you. I'm going to do a little bit longer video as soon as I possibly can to go over everything that I know based on what I've seen from key reviewers that have obtained LC100s both here and overseas. Wish I had better news. A lot of us were really hoping for the LC100 to be a 9 or a 10 radio. I'm not going to make final judgments until I have one in my hands, which I hope will arrive soon here in Maryland. But I wanted to get out this news to you. For those of you who might be considering the LC100, my obligation as someone who is a great supporter of the LC90 to call out these issues just as they're emerging in videos online and in the groups devoted to the LC90 on Facebook. All right, thanks for listening. Please like this video. I will, if at all possible, be back very soon with a more detailed summary of what I know about the Choyong LC100. Thanks. Bye-bye.